All right. Today we are going to be covering someone who had a sort of surprising year. They weren't on many people's radars, but they are the highest statistical performer of 2020 on Train. And as you can kind of see from the teammates, that's Allu. I'm not really sure what to expect watching this. I don't know very much about Allu as a player. I don't know very much about ENCE as a team, other than sort of the memes that have happened since they've done these very abysmal roster swaps. So, with that said, we're going to get right into it, and I'm not really sure what to look for. So, really, my main focus is going to be on one, how is Allu finding his openings on T-side Train? It is a historically CT-sided map. So, how is he getting openings? I'm not sure how this half plays out. I do know that Allu ends up with 15 kills, but aside from that, going in completely blind. So, how does he open things up, first off? And specifically, when his team goes up numbers, how are they capitalizing on that situation to press in for a win? I moved the camera down a little bit as well today, guys. That way we can see the money. So the pretty standard P250 drop. A lot of damage on the back wall. Not sure. Are they doing a boost of some kind? Ah, a run. A run boost grenade. That's interesting. I'm not really sure what you would smoke off with that. Alright. Pretty standard play, just coming out upper. Coming out upper with that P250. So his team forced, but in spite of them forcing on the round, Allu the opper. I do know he tends to op. Buying down to 2200, not really full committing. I guess most of his team hasn't, just Sunny, so a single hero AK. I don't really like this as much, where you have the AK player kind of sitting in the back. You want your AK trying to open things up here. And you see Allu very much aware of that. He's saying, alright, I'm hugging you. Alright, one trade and done. So not really saving for the op, I suppose. I thought they were forcing, so just buying into the round. Nice and easy. Flash above ladder. Oh, doesn't matter, everybody dies. Alright, so in the 3 versus 2... Oh, so many flashes. Very calm play. I like that they immediately apply pressure outside, and then we'll see X7. Can't imagine he wins it, yeah. I like that they immediately apply pressure outside. So that's quite nice to see. Oh, later Ariel. Ariel just trying to open things up. Already out Ivy, green. Deck 7 picks up Twist. Really a lot of kind of no respect pushing here. So I like this. Allu, aware that his team are in really good spots, and instead of trying to force it and get antsy and rush kind of the plant, he slows things down. Oh, get smoked off. I like this though. I like this very Very reserved, very calm gameplay on the part of Allu. Pretty consistent aim. And then again killed from from Ivy. Alright. Allu now. AWPing up. That's interesting. Coming here alone. You see the player in the back briefly playing anti-flash. Wow. I like that second Molotov just denying the opportunity for NIP to pop flash back in when the first molly fades. It might be a little too cautious to always do, but if you have a good feeling they're about to pop through that Molotov, that could be a really strong play. Bro, you saw him. Oh, what? He didn't react? What? Allu's just walking by, sees the man on ladder, doesn't even pull the trigger. He just looks at him. What the heck? So this is interesting. In these positions, you would typically see device or a simple entrying out. Oh, whiffed shot. That's a big one too. Oh, he legged him. I see, I see. You can't stand behind that smoke as it fades. Come on. Alright, and then Sunny again left in a clutch. So right away, what's jumping out to me is the passivity compared to a device or a simple. And it's more passive than ZywOo, right? ZywOo, simple, device, they're all very much hyper aggressive, right? Allu here, very willing to relax, to pull back. He's not trying to rush anything. He's not trying to force anything. But maybe missing out on some opportunities to go more aggressive, where you would see a simple take the aggressive angle. Or you'd see certainly you'd see a device or a simple pushing. You might even see a ZywOo going aggressive there. So very passive on Allu's part. Alright, so the eco round, not really too worried about this. And again, we're seeing this, even on these eco rounds, we're seeing some very passive play over and over again. I don't want to say he's baiting his teammates because I don't think that's the process, and sometimes baiting is good. But so far, we're seeing very passive play. Alright, 4v3. Yeah, and waiting maybe a little too long, a little too passive there again, so we're down 6-0, and we've seen 2 rounds where Allu has... Well, we've seen 3 rounds where he's gone very, very passive, right? And in at least 2 of those, he probably could have gone much more aggressive. So again, here we see it's both players running toward Ivy. The green guy needs to be playing anti-flash here. Yeah, there we go. That's really late to play anti-flash, guys. If they're pushing through, they're already coming here. You don't want your AWP playing anti-flash because if they pop flash through, it's a lot harder to get a trade frag with an AWP. Because if you miss one shot, they double up. Whereas your rifle has the ability to burst someone down. So again, defaulting toward Ivy, applying some potential pressure, ready for NIP to counter-aggress. Clearly he has a couple of lineups for common spots. Or maybe not, he just shot 3 completely different angles, I don't know. I don't know. Alright, so here we go. Now, here's where you would see a device not lead out, but would be the second man down the ramp. You would see 2 players jump, and then he would also sort of crouch into the angle to post up on Z. Okay, this is much more impactful. But see right here, his teammates are pushed up and he is still posted up, right? This is fine, right? This isn't bad by any means, you know? But when he gets smoked off there, Simple's already gone, right? Simple's on top of the blue train. He's hunting for fights. This is very, very passive on the part of Allu. And passive doesn't mean bad, right? Allu is the statistical best player on Train of 2020. So I'm not taking anything away from what he does. But it's interesting to see that style of play get rewarded compared to someone like Simple, for example, who's known for being a superstar player, and Allu, who doesn't have that reputation, right? Alright. That's an interesting spam. Second one's probably random. That's an interesting little lineup. Oh, it's a decoy. Also very much isolated from the group. Simple, you see him, he goes on his own, but it's usually more impactful. Allu is setting traps, right? He's saying, hey, come to me. Let's see if you walk into my crosshair, right? He's not trying to make things happen. He's trying to punish mistakes. And that's a very key difference. That's a very, very key difference. And maybe what this is saying is that on a map like Train, because Allu is the best Train player of 2020, maybe on a map like Train, playing passive like this right here. So in this instance, 100 out of 100 times, Simple is already wide swinging past this angle. He is not waiting for this to happen and allowing his teammates to take the... Even Device is pushing out along the catwalk, taking space, hunting more kills down. Allu very much saying, no, 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 I'm in a great spot. Smoke is up, right? I'm chilling. Right? I'm holding down this lane for my teammates. This is very interesting to see. Now the smoke's about to fade, Allu. You gotta start backing up here, bro. Yeah. Alright, double scoping on the smoke. This time he's ready for it. And so we see as a result... Oh, that always sucks. But so we see as a... Oh, brutal. We see as a result of this passive play, the round is decided without Allu really impacting it. And again, I'm not saying that Allu isn't brilliant at Train. And I'm not even criticizing the passive play, but that is a cost, right? That is a cost on Train when, or anytime you AWP and you decide to set traps and try to bait people into coming into you, you very much are relying more heavily on your team rather than taking over games, right? It allows you, when you're getting the kills, to potentially have a dominant performance. And what I suspect is that we'll see a lot more of that as the... Oops. I suspect we'll see a lot more of that as the half drags on. Okay. Let's watch this again. So here we go, scoping in, waiting for someone to aggress, and it looks like they just walk into his angle, huh? Yeah, so if Plopsky doesn't peek there, Allu doesn't get a kill. He's not swinging out, he's not going for these crazy aggressive lines, and look at this, even now, he's not pushing out with his team. He's sitting back, playing patient, playing passive. Right? Now he is, once they've cleared the entire bomb site and are pushing up, right? But even so, he's had 2 teammates die now. He's only seen 1. There we go. Alright, so he saw him on the bomb train. Simple, 9,000 out of 9,000 times is hunting for the kill. Oh no. No way. Okay, he left. He left. I see. I was looking at. I looked at the radar a little late. Yeah. So we see there, Allu is quite good when he goes aggressive. Right. He's the best player on train of all last year, but when it comes to his default play on T side, it's very much, hey, I'm gonna punish your mistakes, right? I'm gonna capitalize on your weaknesses. And what I would guess, if we looked at his stats, I would guess that means against the tier 1 teams like Na'Vi, like Astralis on train, that we're really gonna see him fall off there. Uh, just because those guys, well, Na'Vi tends to give up a lot of opening picks being aggressive, but Astralis certainly doesn't. It does mean he would have a really favorable matchup against like Furia, for example. And again, like, look at this. This is something that, like, he's holding the flank and letting his team. Can you imagine if Simple says, hey guys, go into the site, I'll hold your flank? In what universe does that happen? Like, never in a million years. Like, look at this. His team is all over the bomb site. He's still posted up T-Con. And so what I'm taking away from this, right, is that you don't have to have this balanced Zen playstyle to be effective. One may be better or the other. I tend to think that there's no right playstyle, right? But this shows me that there is merit in learning, at least on T-side Train, this style of passive, very trap-heavy AWPing. Right? That shows me that there is merit to that. Now this is more standard. This is something you see every AWP on every team do, right? Like, you got to post up on the upper early round, wait for your teammates to actually grab control. Then you can look away once they're reasonably set up. Yeah. Okay, staring at the molly? I don't know about that one. I don't know why you're still looking at the molly. Like, aim a little lower if you think he's behind the box. But, okay. Alright, and so... Are we doing the run boost thing again? No? Okay. I will say, I'll pause this briefly and just talk about that whole thing we just saw, right? If you're a team, and there was no util up, by the way, right? So there's no util up on the B-bomb site. If you're a team and you're grouping to execute, don't wait for some arbitrary timing unless you've studied the other team and you know every single round at the 44-second mark, the player rotates off of B and goes Ivy. Unless you have that hard of a tell, just execute the moment you're there. Why? Because every moment you don't have control of T-Con, of Ivy, of ladder, they could be pushing you. And when they stopped here and just hesitated for that 10 seconds for no apparent reason, and this is like a lot of really good IGLs do this because they do have a good intuition, right? They have an amazing intuition. And so they think, okay, my intuition is that we need to wait an extra like couple of seconds. Okay, guys, get ready, go. And first off, you're taking your entire team out of its rhythm, right? And for all I know, they're going to steamroll this round and I'll look silly. But like, you're taking the team out of its rhythm. You're giving the other team a chance to grab information. And you're also like gambling, right? You're essentially gambling with your intuition. And if you're a great IGL, you don't want to gamble. You want to use your skills, gain information. Don't just group up and be like, okay, wait until I'm going to gamble when's the time to pull the trigger. They don't even have ladder control at this point, right? Like, if something goes wrong, they can't cancel. And I'm not saying you never group up B at this time in full exec, but I am saying when you do, you should never hesitate like this. Like, this hesitation is, unless someone's like mouse died. Like I'm not. Again, you can never judge like the players. Like for all I know, their decision is good. But from us watching it from the outside, these are the situations you should avoid as a team. Don't hesitate like that before you execute in. So notice he only starts moving. Yeah, and they've doubled, tripled the site. Like, why are you running away, bro? They had 3 players on the bomb site. Right. So that's just an absolutely brutal play. And I don't know if had they gone in earlier, it would have gone any better. But they certainly didn't set themselves up for the greatest success going into that round. And then the second thing is notice that Allu, in spite of having this passive playstyle, the moment his teammates die, he's pushing up. He's swinging out. It's like we saw on A site in that 4v3. When his teammates start dying, he pushes up. He's willing to take those aggressive fights. Yeah, you need to be aiming a little lower there, to be honest. Or you could be aiming a little lower. All right. All right, so this is fine because you're going on contact, right? Now look at this. They're immediately going much better, so much better. And look at this. Now they can flood the site. Okay, they get doubled up on, right? But like, there we go. 1 for 1, and now you have the site. Done. You don't give them time to set up. You allow your players to make plays, trade out into the bomb site, and go. You don't hesitate, right? Okay, Allu going aggressive now. This is more like it, right? This is more like you see... I'm not saying it's right, okay? What I'm saying is this is more standard from what you'd see from other AWPers. Oh, 1v3. Oh, he could clutch this. Oh, not if he whips shots like that. Oh, but if he hits shots like that... La la. So yeah, Allu willing to go aggressive at times, but overarchingly his playstyle is quite passive, and that can be really good. In fact, it's this is really annoying to deal with if you slightly misthrow your Molotov as a CT and they get into that corner. You're just really mad at whoever throws it if you're the guy crossing ladder, because it's like, bro, your molly didn't go deep enough. Like, throw the right molly. What do we pay you for? Alright, so Allu now. This is more like it. Hunting kills down. Going a little more aggressive. Right? That's... So we're seeing signs of life out of him. He's not just playing passive, right? Simple sandwich smoke. Is he going to flash over ladder late round? No, triple Ivy. Okay. So I will say, on kind of an IGL perspective, looking at how Ince is playing when they're in these situations, these advantaged situations, they are playing very old school IGL style. It's very clear that their IGL has a strong presence in the team. Right. And you know this by... wow, and then Allu's still just chilling. Pushes through on a timing. Clean. Backing off. He knows he's 1 bullet. Yeah, you can tell it's a very old school style of IGLing, right? Where he is... Whoever the IGL is saying, hey guys, let's do X. You know, not really defaulting all that much. They have some set plays, right? So that's where you see, I was just talking about this today with someone, that you see sort of the differentiation between Astralis, where they default a lot, but they implement and seamlessly flow between their default and set executes very well, right? Wow, Allu saving in T-spawn. Ince, it seems, not really having that solid default, not really flowing as a team, much more much more micromanage heavy. Which in their IGL's defense in this game, when you're losing 9-3 or 9-2 or whatever the scoreline was, you are more likely to start like picking up the slack and calling more in depth. That is your go-to response as an IGL is, oh, my team is getting blown out of the water. Time to step things up a little bit. I'm not doing my job. So yeah, Allu really... Oh, you have the bomb, Yellow. Get out of there, Sonny. Yeah, Allu really, he's just kind of chilling. Aerial opens up too, okay. Like, look at this. His teammates are clearing the bomb site. Wow. This is so cool to watch. I have not watched a top-level AWPer play like this before. This is something that, and I'm not detracting on him. It's really fascinating that it can work at this high level. This is something where you would typically see like a pug, like in a pug, right? Like, oh, these guys are gonna just push. These guys are going to give me this, right? That's a nice little bit of movement, little jiggle peek. Right, and where you would see a simple take an aggressive line, or even device, instead, Allu not committing forward, kind of staying back, staying in the open, you know, keeping his options open. In that regard, it's a little similar to Zywoo in these post plans. He waited so long. Wait, X7, you can get the op, really? Okay. Alright, so let's see. Final round of the half. 9-5 the scoreline. And again, holding the back lines while his teammates kind of take the front. And so I don't know if this is their game plan going in, or their good punish. Yeah, so Allu just constantly punishing these mistakes. Is he gonna back up? Oh, he stays. Well, a little bit of aggression from our favorite AWPer on this server. His teammates creeping out B. They could be ladder. They could be up ladder here. They could already be up in the hallway, yeah, so he's aware. He's very aware. Bro, yeah, that always mildly annoys. Oh, that always mildly annoys me when I see someone watching their teammates. It's like, bro, they can't be there. They literally can't be there. Why are you watching that angle? He's gonna peek out. Yeah, even this simple device, they're going for the fight. Even though peeking is technically safer. Wow. Okay. So, what do I think of that half? What do I think of that half? So, the positives. I think Allu has very clean mechanics. Doesn't look flashy, doesn't look too slow, doesn't look too flashy. It looks very solid. It looks very solid mechanically. And then secondly, what's really interesting is from a philosophical standpoint, he prefers to, at least in this game, to set traps and allow NIP to make mistakes, and then he wants to punish them for it, right? Sitting back, he would have his entire team on the bomb site and he would still be in T-Con, right? He would have his teammates rushing up B and still be upper. That's the sort of very defensive play you don't see from a simple, from a Zywoo, from a device. I mean, even from a Brolan or a Nico or a lot of the operas out there, that level of defensive play is quite rare. And I think that's worth learning from. I think it's worth noting that Allu is the best player on Train in 2020. And if this sort of play style is something that he can make work, then it's worth integrating into your own gameplay, right? Especially given that most players will make more mistakes than tier one Counter Strike teams, right? Uh, but yeah, good stuff from Allu.